All right, so this morning I'm going to be doing an air layer on my Black Madeira KK. And so to do that, I got a little bit of water, I have some knives, I have some dirt that I just got out of some pots that I have dirt sitting in. I've got a Ziploc bag and some twine or thin rope. I don't know what to call that. But that's pretty much all you need to do this. And of course you need a fig tree, and I'll talk about that more after I prepare the bag. Alrighty, so to do this, in the bag, I'm gonna fill it up with dirt. The dirt doesn't have to be special. I did sift this dirt so it's small, there's no large particles in it. I don't think it really matters one way or the other though. So I'm gonna fill it up pretty much so it's full. Like, I don't think I could close, I could barely close it right now. And then put water in it. I like to put a lot of water in it. Usually just because it's so hot here, it doesn't last too long. Well, I mean, it still lasts months, but it doesn't stay soaking wet forever. And then I try to close the bag up. I might have put too much dirt in there. I'm gonna take some of that out. Okay, close the bag up. You can see it's still dry there, it's wet there. It's all wet on this side. So I'm just gonna let it sit for maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour. 30 minutes should be fine to make sure all the dirt is hydrated. I don't want it soaking wet when I do this, but I do want it moist. So when I am ready to do it, I may, after 30 minutes, I may add some more water to this. If it's too wet, I'm not too worried about it, but I don't want it too dry. Okay, so I'll come back in about 30 and we'll see where this is at. All right, I got my bag of dirt, string, knife, some clippers, and here is the fig that I'm gonna be air layering. It's a Black Madeira KK. It does have figs and stuff on top of it. I'm looking down here at this branch right here, the air layer. So I'll probably cut off this leaf just so I can access it better. It does have a little fig growing on it, so I'm gonna pull that off. Pull that off. I may cut off this low leaf and rub that off as well. Let's get to it. So I'm gonna cut off
All I'm doing is cutting a small slit all the way around the bark. And then I'm going to cut a slit up the bark. And then try to pry the bark off. There we go. Okay, so now I have the bark cut off there. And just scrape it a little bit. To get that cambium off. Okay. I'm just going to tie my string down here at the bottom so I have a little bit of leverage when doing this, and I don't need 3 hands to do it. So on here, I'm just going to cut my bag down the middle. Just like that. And then I'm going to take the bag. Oh, this bag might be way too big. I'm just taking that bag, placing the thing, I guess, what is this? The fig branch in that slit, and then squeezing that bag around it nice and tight. And then I'm going to take that string and I'm going to wrap it around the bag super tight. Okay, so now I just need to tie it off somewhere. Try to tie it off at the bottom. I'll just tie it off onto this one. Oh. Okay. So that's it. That's all I do. So that's the air layer on there. Here's the air layer. It's tied on nice and tight. And I am going to get some foil. You could use foil or a paper bag or something. But I'm going to cover it up so the sun's not hitting it directly. Just leave it there for a month or two and it should have roots. Okay, so I got it wrapped in foil the best I could. It's not a pretty job, but it'll do. Just keeps the sun off of it. Like I said, come back in a month and see how it's doing. I've got about 2 months before it starts. We have our first frost date, so it should be fine with the heat and the water. So it should be able to make some roots just fine. And then hopefully I can cut it off, show you roots, put it in a pot, and let it overwinter. But it's pretty easy, doesn't take much. You can use zip ties instead of string or anything else just to tie it on there, to keep it on there. I've seen people do plastic bottles, like plastic water bottles. That works well. I've done that once and it worked. But I had the most success with bags. So that's that. I'll see you in a month.